Hello, I'm Deacon Timothy Tillman, the Director of Development for the Josephite Prieston Brothers. Thank you for inviting me into your church today to talk to you about the Josephites and to talk about Sharon Mission. Why the Josephites and why Sharon Mission? I grew up in Josephite parishes here in Washington, D.C. There was something special about the way that I grew up because the Josephites, not just the priests and brothers, but also Josephite parishioners, were really a part of what was going on in the neighborhood. And the kids in the neighborhood grew up with the Josephite priests, brothers, and the parishioners. So in churches that were surrounded by public housing, all of the kids did okay. There were no at-risk kids there because the Josephites were an integral part of the community. In 1988, I met the love of my life, Jennifer Tillman, and we got married here at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church in Washington, D.C. almost 19 years ago. We shared a common faith and a common sense of community. And I discovered in our relationship that Jennifer grew up in the same circumstances that I did, in New Orleans, Louisiana, with the Josephites, with the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament and the Holy Family nuns. And that's where we got that common sense of community. The Josephites partnered with the nuns and religious orders in the neighborhoods to make sure that we had a community, we had a church, and everyone grew in the faith. Our Holy Father, Pope Benedict, charged us to live and carry out the new evangelization. Well, the Josephites started the new evangelization in 1871 when they started to minister to freed slaves in the United States of America. And that new evangelization continues with the Josephites today. The partners are different, but the mission is the same. Josephite priests, brothers, and parishioners partner with people in the community. They build the community, they build the church, and everyone grows in the faith. Today, Sharon Mission drives that new evangelization with our new priest and bringing new life into our church. In Cherry Hill in Baltimore, we get a chance to take a look at that because people gather to talk about what it means to live their faith. And then they go from the church, because not everybody's coming into the church, and then they go and they do outreach and take that church into the community. They're feeding the young and the hungry, feeding their minds so that they're ready to succeed in the world. And they know that the young people come with parents, so they're feeding parents so that the church and the community can grow together. What the Josephites did for kids that suffered in Katrina, they are doing for kids in West Baltimore. We see this need to take the church into the neighborhood, so the Josephites are walking with other faith denominations to rebuild the community in West Baltimore. And when people don't come into the church, the Josephites took the church into the street. So we have old people and young people coming together to be the church in the community in West Baltimore. And from this walk, young people are now in the church doing their thing and learning about God and learning about how to build the community. And we also see them gather in summer camp in Project Wonder. Project Wonder does three very, very basic things for people in our community. It gives young people a chance to be safe. It gives them the chance to have fun. It gives them the chance to learn about Christ. This is what the Josephites are doing with young people all over the country. We're going to go from Baltimore to Beaumont, where you see young people teaching people the Word of God. You see young people gathered in a community, a diverse community, talking about their faith and being excited about being part of the Josephite way. We see them at summer camp also, having a good time, learning the faith with our seminarians, with our priests, with our brothers, and you see the happiness in their face because they really have a chance to live the faith. And part of that Josephite way is just to celebrate the young people that do that and recognize them. So they are really the trophy in our church community. They are going to be our future. They're going to help us grow. Again, you're seeing the Josephite way coming to life, and that life is fueled by our commitment to Sharon Mission. From Baltimore to Beaumont and all the places in between, the Josephites are building community and building the church with your support through Sharon Mission. So you see, there's a new community center that's built at Baytown. Great things are going to happen for young people there. We've rebuilt the church in Pascagoula so that there's a center for the community to gather after suffering from the storms that ravaged the Gulf over the last few years. On the hill here at Our Lady of Perpetual Help, we have the Josephites opening a clinic for Unity Health, so that there's a way to engage people that were incarcerated and people that are in recovery in being part of building the community and learning the faith. This, again, we see as the Josephite way. Nowhere is it more evident that the Josephites are present than if you go to New Orleans, the community that was impacted by Hurricane Katrina. So today, you see the community walking where floodwaters once were, because the Josephites have brought back hope. They've rebuilt the church in the 7th Ward at Corpus Christi Epiphany. They're building a community center so that the community that was hit by Katrina can gather and talk about what they hope for. We still have our high school open, St. Augustine, so young people learn how to be men, learn how to live the faith, and learn how to continue to build the community. And in the lower 9th Ward, the area that was most ravaged by Hurricane Katrina, at St. David's Parish, we are building a community center there so people have a place to gather and talk about what they're hopeful for. When you go to St. David's, you see Father Oswald Pierre Jules, ordained in 2006, a new priest, a new Josephite, who's bringing that new life and new energy into the community. All of these things are made possible through our Josephite Share in Mission annual appeal. And the Josephites are going beyond just working in one particular community. So another one of those new Josephites that you'll meet as you travel through New Orleans is Father Anthony Bozeman. Father Bozeman came to the Josephites in 2005 from the Diocese of Philadelphia. Father Bozeman has been in New Orleans for almost all of the time that he's been with the Josephites, and he started at Blessed Sacrament St. Joan of Arc Parish in New Orleans, and now is the pastor at St. Raymond, St. Leo the Great, in the heart of the 7th Ward. Father Bozeman brings the Josephite way to life not only in New Orleans, where the Josephites are helping to rebuild the community, but also as president of the National Black Catholic Clergy Caucus, where he takes the Josephite way to clergy all over the country, so the Josephite way reaches far beyond Josephite parishes and beyond the African American community. We also have Father Michael Thompson working in the area that was ravaged by Katrina. Father Thompson is the pastor of St. Francis Xavier in Baton Rouge. He was ordained in 2006, and he comes from a Josephite parish in the heart of Texas. And what we see is the Josephite way. We see that new evangelization. We see those new priests coming and bringing new life into the church community. That's our secret to success in building community and building church in New Orleans. We want to be able to do that all over the country. We need you to be part of Share in Mission so that these men and those that will follow them can continue to work in the community to build our church. From Baltimore to Beaumont, the Josephite way is building community with new evangelization, new priests, and bringing new life into the church. But the Josephite way impacts in other places. What you haven't seen is the Josephite way working in Southwest Louisiana, in Alabama, in Mississippi, and in Los Angeles. But the new evangelization, our new priest, and new life in the church is in all of those places where the Josephites are. That's there because of a couple of very simple things. The Josephites, you, the faith community, and your participation by living the faith and being part of Share in Mission. Why the Josephites and why Share in Mission? This is our way to make sure that the new evangelization continues. There are new priests and new life continues to build in our church. The Josephites started this in 1871, and we want to make sure that the Josephite way of ministry continues for the next 140 years. Remember how the Josephites have touched your life, and please give this Share in Mission. Make a pledge, $100 per month, $50 per month, $30, $10. Please contribute so that the Josephite way of new evangelization continues, and we continue to have that new life in the church. A leader from your parish is going to speak to you about Share in Mission in your parish community. Listen, reflect on what's said today, make a pledge, be as generous as you can. Thank you for inviting me into your church today. May God bless you. God bless the Josephites. God bless their work. in our community. Thank you.
Share in mission.